Why do they never go in for me? Hey music lovers! Yes, here I am again. Another vinyl watch. This one's a bit different. I actually have brand new records. Now, regular viewers of my diatribes and waffling will know that I do like a bargain, which leads me to usually buying used records, second-hand records, old records. But here we've got some new stuff and stuff from this decade. So you lucky people get to see what kind of stuff I've picked up. So, gonna show the best first, in keeping with my new tradition. So, first record I'm going to show is this one. So this is Arctic Monkeys AM. This is a great record. Probably not my favourite Monkeys album. I think first two albums I love to pieces, but this one is a terrific record. Absolutely brilliant. Some brilliant songs on here. There's the label. Do I Want to Know? Are You Mine? Why Do You Only Call Me When You're High? I Want to Be Yours. Really good British indie rock record. Picked this up from Facebook Marketplace, actually. Guy had a couple of records that he wanted to get rid of. I don't know why he wanted to get rid of them, but they were only £6 each. So I managed to picking this up for £6. What a bargain. Terrific album. And the other record I picked up is probably one of the other brilliant records, brilliant indie rock records from this decade, is Royal Blood's debut. Again, a £6 purchase. Chock full of great songs. This is a duo. And it's a drum and bass duo, but so many effects used on the bass that it sounds at times like a lead guitar. Absolutely ecstatic when I managed to pick these up. So there's a picture of the two guys in the band. Things like Out the Black, Come On Over. Well, actually, start to finish, this record is a really great record. There we go. There's a label. Kind of, yeah, in places you do get a White Stripes feeling about it, but it's less garagey than White Stripes, more out and out rock. And I love the cover. I really love the cover of that one. But to pick those two records up for £6 each, I was well chuffed. Also, I got another record from this decade. I've talked about this artist before. This is Waxahachie. And I think this is her, well, it's basically a one-person band. It's Katie Crutchfield. Really varied record. I love the variety on here. You've got piano-based songs, you've got quite acoustic singer-songwriter stuff, you've got more rocky stuff, there's use of synth and kind of in a droney style. Really varied presentation of her songs, and the songs are really good. I did show a while ago her fourth album, which I can't remember what it's called now. This is on white vinyl. There's the label. Yeah, really good stuff. I really recommend Waxahachie. If you're into that sort of indie stuff, from more recent indie stuff, really good listen. On Wichita. Picked that up for like £1 plus postage, I think I did. Came sealed. Of course, I ripped all the horrible shrink off it. I also picked up 3 reissue albums. So there was a deal going with one of these online vinyl sellers. I can't remember the name of the place. Vinyl Solution. I can't remember what it's called. But they were doing an introductory offer where you had 20% off, and they had a sale on. So these records were like, I think they were about £7 each originally. So you got 20% off that. So with shipping, they came to under 20 quid. It might even have been about £6 each again. 2 of my favourite albums. One's a dance classic, one's an indie classic, and then I've got another one. So I picked up a copy of this, and what a record this is. This is Dig Your Own Hole by the Chemical Brothers, their second album. Absolutely fantastic album. Great artwork. I have this on CD and I play this over and over again, along with Leave Home, the first album. Just some black vinyl. There we go. Got various pictures on the vinyl. Such a fantastic sounding record. Great to have it on vinyl at last. So things like Block Rockin' Beats and Setting Sun on here, they're 2 #1 singles from the, what was it, 2009? No, not even 2000, it's a 90s album. 96, I think. Things like Private Psychedelic Real is a fantastic track. Lost in the K-Hole. Electro Bank, that was another single, Piku. Just a brilliant dance record from start to finish. That big beat stuff. So glad I got that. I also picked up possibly my favourite Sonic Youth album. We've got Experimental Jet Set and Trash and No Star. So this was the album they released straight after Dirt, and it's kind of a reaction against that popularist for Sonic Youth bent they were on there. Dirt was probably their most easily accessible album, and this was kind of a reaction against it. Much more experimental, more oblique songwriting on DGC. There's the label. Contains maybe my favourite Sonic Youth song. It's got Bull in the Heather on here. I adore that song. I have this on CD as well, which I bought when it came out. Absolutely terrific album. With it, also got the insert. Come on out. There you go. There's the insert. Lyric insert. Picture of an amp. Absolutely brilliant album from start to finish. Yeah, so chuffed to play this on vinyl. I really should get some more Sonic Youth vinyl, but it's probably out of my price range. And the other record I got in this batch of 3, because I got 3, and I think there was even more money off if you bought 3 of them, I can't remember. But this was a great pickup, so I bought, this is beautiful. So I got a copy of the Who's My Generation. This is the Stereo Mixes album. I think in 2016 there was a box set released of this album, and it had the mono mixes, stereo mixes, and on this it's a double album. It's also got bonus stereo tracks. So you've got, I mean, it's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. So you've got the disc listing, then you've got sort of the original tape box from the Masters with a lovely Brunswick replica label. I never listened to this before, never ever heard this album before. And I was and I saw it was on there and I thought, right, it's time. I am going to listen to this. And I think The Who did release better albums than this, but I mean, this is the one that's made it into the American, well, you know, the list of important records and artifacts that the American government, or the American, I've forgotten who it is, but it's in there. Some brilliant songs on here, some awful covers. I mean, their cover of James Brown's I Don't Mind, I don't know, Roger Daltrey just sounds out of his depth on that. He's not a funky singer. To be honest, the weak link on this record is Roger Daltrey. I don't think he found his feet as a vocalist on here yet. He was being asked to sing stuff that he obviously, I don't think he was comfortable singing. And I think there are stories of him about that at the time. And an awful cover of I'm a Man, where he sings in this faux blues singer voice, and it much deeper register than he usually sings in, and it's a terrible cover. But the songs that Townsend writes or wrote are some brilliant stuff on here. Big eye-opening song for me on this was The Good's Gone, which has two versions of it. It has the original album version and it has an extended version of it. And it sounds to me like a prototype for all those garage bands. It could almost be a track on Nuggets. I think if somebody released a slightly fuzzed up, speeded up version of it, it's an archetypal Nuggets track. Absolutely brilliant stuff. And also the Ox. I mean, what Townsend was doing with the guitar on here was just streets ahead of what anybody else was doing. So this is probably their mod record, their out and out mod record. They went on to become much more experimental. Yeah, experimental. But some of the guitar sounds on here, the Ox is a phenomenal track where they just let loose. I mean, the feedback being used on some of these is just way ahead of its time. And it comes with a record of stereo mixes, bonus tracks. It's got extended editions, alternate takes, singles. It's got I Can't Explain's on here, Kids Are Alright, alternate version, an instrumental of My Generation, Anyway, Anyhow, Anywhere. And surprisingly, the covers on this album are way better. They actually do a pretty good version of Heatwave. And James Brown's Shout and Shimmy, which is way better than the cover they used on the main album. But absolutely ecstatic I picked this up. Lovely stuff. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Beautiful, beautiful record. Right, so that's it for the new stuff. I also picked up a few used records, as I do. I picked up a couple of Cream albums. Now the covers are really taped up awful, but the records are brilliant. Brilliant nick. Love both of these. So we've got Live Cream and we've got Goodbye. Story about these two is I bought these off eBay as they were listed as together. And then I got a package about a week later and I opened it up and there was a copy of a Humble Pie live album and another record. and I got a message from the seller, and he basically mucked up. He'd sent me my records to somebody else, and I'd got somebody else's records. So he paid, not only did he pay for the postage back, he refunded my money, and then he shipped out the records. So I got these two for absolutely nothing. So the fact that the covers are taped up and pretty awful covers, I really don't care, because these were basically free records. So great stuff. Two really good albums. Some really good tracks on here. So you've got, this is all completely live from various gigs in the late 60s. One side of this, well, most of the tracks on here are live from the same era, with Badge, absolutely love, with George Harrison's guitar solo on that one. Billed as L'Angelo Misterioso. I think he does a solo on there. It sounds like him anyway. Maybe it's Eric Clapton. I'm sure. Somebody tell me. I'm being a complete idiot here. Yeah, fabulous stuff. And I just picked up another copy of Ancient Heart by Denise Tickerham, because I wasn't happy with the quality of the copy I had, and it had writing on the cover. But I picked this up because somebody was offering these for 99p. So this is Denise Tickerham's third album, Everybody's Angel. This is a lovely record, very influenced by Van Morrison. There's a lot of tracks that really sound like Van Morrison on here, and coupled with a kind of that deep voice she has, just sound lovely. This is a great record, really, really good. And of course, and that's great as well. So it's nice to have a really nice copy of that and that one. So there we go. Another vinyl watch. Hope you found something that was interesting. I had absolute joy at listening to all of these, and I loved every single second of all of them. Even those Duff covers on My Generation. I'm sure I probably riled somebody up, but there's enough on that album to make it a brilliant album. Just wish they'd swapped out some of the covers on it. There we go. So I'll be back again soon with yet more waffling and piffling, and I'll see you all again soon. Cheers, everybody. Bye.